Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today I will be doing my review of WandaVision Episode 7. Alright, so WandaVision Episode 7 premiered on Friday, and it was a great episode, much like all of the others. There haven't really been any episodes with down points, and this one really kind of set up the stakes for the rest of the series and the future properties of the MCU moving forward, with tons of reveals for a bunch of characters. So one of the major reveals that we learn is Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness, and this was speculated on for a long time, even before the show premiered, just because of the character's name and kind of, certain traits that I think people saw in the character through leaked set photos and things like that. But it was confirmed, and we saw her kind of, layer or realm, whatever you want to call it, whatever they're going to do with it. We saw her kind of, dark magic area of the basement of her house. And I know in the comics, Agatha Harkness is not necessarily a villain, but I know there have been some iterations where she is, and I think they're probably going that route with this one, just given like the disappearances of the children, and then kind of more things that are alluded to with seeing things like a dark book, which could be the Darkhold, it could be the Necronomicon, but I'm sure we'll figure out what that book is in the last two episodes of the show. Another reveal that we got was for the character of Monica Rambeau. It was revealed that she has powers, and it's kind of unknown at this point how much they're going to explore it, but we saw when she was going through the Hex that, she was able to kind of break through and then seeing different spectrums or different the way things were bending in there. And then when she was kind of almost about to go up against Wanda, we saw she did the superhero landing, and there was that blue kind of energy that radiated where she landed. So this is obviously, kind of going to turn into her becoming Photon or Spectrum, and we'll have to see how that carries on. We know that the character of Monica Rambeau will be in Captain Marvel 2, so my guess is by the end of WandaVision, we will see her kind of fully understand her powers, and then in Captain Marvel 2, she will have more of a major role, and we will see her, maybe team up with Captain Marvel to kind of continue the story on, and to push the story of Captain Marvel further, since the last time we saw her with her own real story was in Captain Marvel, the film, and that was set in the 90s. So it's been a while since we've gotten an actual update from the character, aside from the kind of brief appearance in Endgame, but there weren't really any aspects of character development focused on in the character throughout that film. But overall, beyond the reveals, I really liked this episode because it really kind of sets up what is going to happen in the future episodes and the future of the MCU. We see everything kind of coming together. We see that, Wanda's kind of losing control. She's not able to manipulate her reality as she was able to in the earlier episodes, and certain things like wallpapers and furniture and TVs are changing, and she's not really, understanding why. So I think that's something that will be explored a lot in the next episode. We obviously know that she knows who Agatha Harkness is now, and, she's not really controlling anything, and it could be that Wanda's being completely controlled by Agatha, because we saw that she had a kind of purple eyes and some sort of purple energy or magic around her. So that could mean that Monica's not in full control, but Agatha was kind of allowing her to do some things, such as create the life she wanted with Vision, because it would keep her in the mindset of, that she's kind of controlling everything going on. We also saw in this episode a lot of good stuff from Vision and Darcy. Darcy was pulled into the Hex at the end of episode 6. And, she was kind of in the circus setting with Vision, and she thought Vision was hitting on her, and then they kind of figured out that, Vision's kind of really wondering what's going on, and he woke up Darcy using the same method with his hands that he did for Norm and for Agatha, and then Darcy kind of explains to Vision everything that happened, because we learned earlier in the season that Vision doesn't really know what happened before kind of the entire Westview anomaly. So whether his memory was erased or maybe there was different data put into him, who knows, but he was kind of unaware of everything going on, and Darcy kind of updated him on what his life was before all of this, And, we're probably going to see at least aspects of the Vision that we knew before WandaVision come through, now that he's able to kind of make these realizations, and I think maybe Darcy will help kind of bring him back to how he was. But the biggest thing that I'm wondering, based on that information and the episodes prior, is what is going on with Vision, because we saw in the end of episode 6 that when he was trying to escape the hex, he was being pulled back in, and it was a kind of red energy that we, typically associate with Wanda or Scarlet Witch. And, that seemed like that was kind of pulling him back in, but we now know that Agatha seems to be at least somewhat controlling Wanda. So I wonder if it's kind of like Agatha's controlling Wanda to an extent, but Wanda's still doing everything that she's doing, because it seems like it is very much based around Wanda and what Wanda wants. So I think that'll be really interesting to see, but I wonder what's going to happen with Vision, because we saw that he was dead in the SHIELD facility. They were trying to revive him, but they weren't able to, and then Wanda broke in, stole him, and was able to. So whether this is something that's exclusive to the Hex, and, if he escapes, then he dies, and that's why he was kind of flaking apart when he was leaving the Hex. That could be it, or maybe he was somehow brought back to life by Agatha, and, maybe the Ultron part of him will kind of play into this. I've seen some theories where people think Ultron could be behind Director Hayward, or maybe is Director Hayward, so it'd be really interesting to see where they go with Vision, and then also how this plays into Doctor Strange 2 and possibly Spider-Man 3, because we know those films follow WandaVision and kind of continue the story that is set up in WandaVision itself. So overall, I really liked this episode. I thought there were a lot of great aspects. There were a lot of great reveals, and I can't wait to see where the series goes from here, who the big cameo is, what other characters they might bring in, and how it plays into the MCU moving forward. So that's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.